If it feels like housing is getting more unaffordable, it's because it is. That's according to a report released by the Frontier Centre for Public Policy in partnership with Demographia. To talk more about this is David Lease, President and CEO of the Frontier Centre. David, what are some of the things that stood out from this report?
This report that the Frontier Centre does with the Demographia Centre is very much testimony to the reality that if you take a multiple, basically a ratio between one's income, the mean multiple, we call it, and you look at your income versus the mean price of a home, affordability is truly a train wreck in this country in large urban environments. Not all of them, but most. So, for example, if you look at Vancouver, it is entirely unaffordable. And this is kind of pointing out the obvious. But if you look at it worldwide, which this report does, and we look at some 95 markets, you can see how Canada, despite it being the second largest nation in the world, is among the most unaffordable places to live. And this is the paradox. And people would ask, well, why is this? It's because in a number of those markets, again, not all of them, but we have urban planning that has stifled the use of land in a way that allows us to have affordable housing.
So how do Alberta cities stack up against the rest of the country?
Alberta cities, particularly smaller cities and rural areas, are much more affordable when we compare it to the rest of Canada. Now, the danger is that as more and more people move to Alberta, ironically for affordable housing and a better way of life, lower taxes and economic opportunity, the pressure will be to open up land for that housing. And that's important that that occurred. It's important to realize that most of the price of a house is not so much the house, it's actually the land. So this is why it's so important that local governments in particular, with the support of sensible provincial policies, open up land for development so that you can actually deliver a house price that people can afford.
So what kinds of policy reforms are necessary to restore housing affordability?
One answer, it's very simple. We need to open up land so that people can build housing, so the private sector can deliver housing. We have a long, successful history in this country of the private sector delivering housing. The second one is we need to back away from our almost this fetish focus on increasing density. And it's not to say that density is not a good thing, but you need to have flexibility that allows people to do what they want to do with their land and as they see fit. You also need to open up the turnaround for building permits. Last year, I believe, if memory serves me correctly, when it comes to the organizational pardon me, if we look at OECD countries, Canada actually was at the bottom of the list, the second bottom list in terms of building permit turnaround. I think the only country that did better than us when it comes to building permits was Slovakia. No offense to them, but we can do better. And if we do, that allows us to produce more housing that's more affordable. And this is a dire crisis for people.
That was David Lease, President and CEO of the Frontier Centre for Public Policy.